we're back. It's Movies in the Man Cave. We've been off for a little while. I've been on the road a lot for work, so no time to shoot the show.
What do you
We
do?
had to go without. I hope you enjoyed the reruns. This week, in honor of the release of the Phantom Menace in 3D. That's one more dimension than it was originally released in. We're going to give our review of the movie that came out in what year did that come out? 98, 99?
99.
99 probably?
I think.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
All right, I'm going to start, and I'm going to start by saying probably the last time I saw this movie was in 2000.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you'll see from my review, I think there's a reason for that. But I don't know where to start. There's a lot of good things and a lot of bad things, I think, with this movie.
Okay.
It was very up and down. I'll start with some of the negatives, and then I'll move into some things I liked. Negatives, I'm not even going to go into Jar Jar Binks. I think there's been enough discussions about that. Everybody knows what they're getting into.
Yeah.
I'll briefly mention the child actor. I assume you know his name.
Jake Lloyd.
Did just terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. And I'm not going to go into it too much. Just very, very bad. And I know some of the bigger things. I think that they were overly ambitious with their CGI. I think their ideas were there, but the technology wasn't there at the time. You know, Lucasfilms has always been known for being ahead of the
Top
game.
notch,
And I think they were ahead of the game in 1999. They're just so far behind the game, you know, what it is today, that it looks really, really cheesy and outdated.
It dated itself more than just using costumes that they did in the first one.
Exactly. I mean, you could watch, you know, New Hope, Return of the Jedi, and not pick out a single thing like, that looks so terrible, it's clearly a computer, you know.
Exactly. The only thing that those ones have that look dated is like Lando has bell bottoms and like.
Well, yeah,
you know,
but it's not like things
Exactly.
you're gonna pick out and be like, that's clearly not even
the
there.
costumes,
You know, this is
the
all
puppets,
green screen.
everything.
Yeah.
So
I think they were better off, you know, with the
They
70s
should've
and
done
80s
puppets.
versions. Exactly. Another thing, and I could be misremembering, but I feel like a lot of it was like in Space Senate. Wasn't it a lot of it just like a lot of arguing between?
There was, and you know, like when I've watched it more, you know, as an adult and everything, that came out when I was in 6th grade. So, you know, when I first watched it in the theaters, it was like, this is really boring. Get to the battles, get to the lightsaber stuff. When you go and you watch it again, it's kind of like, oh, okay, so there's like this whole political scheme thing going on. But you totally miss that, as a kid watching it. And
it's like watching C-SPAN for me. Like, it was like watching Space-SPAN. Yeah, and it was just, I was like, come on, let's move it along here.
Yeah, it definitely has stuff to do with the story, you know, and especially the long run of the story. But yeah, it was just kind of could have been done better.
Yeah. I didn't really care for the princess part. It was very stiff, you know, and I don't attribute that to Natalie Portman or anything. I think it's just the character is very stiff and very boring. I'll move on to some things I did like. I know at the time the pod race was super sweet. I mean, when that came out, and we ended up getting like a computer game that had the pod race on it, and we played the heck out of it because it was sweet.
It was
the pod race was really awesome. Darth Maul was a very cool character.
He was.
The face, you know, I'll say face paint. You know, I guess
tattoos.
It was tattoos. Okay. And the double saber obviously was something new and really cool.
But that almost seemed, I guess, when it came out, it was like, that's really, really sweet. And then you look back at it and you kind of, it's like, you could tell it was kind of like, okay, what gimmicky thing can we do to get people to come see it? You know, and so, I mean, even in the way that it's presented, it's like, you know, he whips it out and it's like, bam, one lightsaber, and then, pa-cha, second lightsaber. You know, it's like done in a way that you're supposed to be like, woo, you know.
And I think for me, I did do that. I think it was cool, and I still picturing it in my head. I can still see that being pretty cool. I don't think that it's too gimmicky.
It is cool, but like, I guess when I look at it from the perspective of a filmmaker doing it, you know, that's
just
how
how can we top it? How can we one up ourselves?
But yeah, it's still very cool.
What else was good? Obviously, you know, I like Liam Neeson and I like Ewan McGregor, so it was nice that they were both involved.
Sam Jackson's in this one.
Yeah, I don't know. That didn't do a lot for me, I don't think. What am I missing out? Now, you tell me what you think. So, overall, I will just give, you know, if I were giving it a 1 through 10, it would be in the 5 range. Like, it had parts that were good, and it had other parts that was just like, I'm not interested.
Well, I'm a huge Star Wars nerd.
Yeah, you're way bigger. I'm surprised you didn't come dressed as Jedi today or something like that.
I thought about bringing my lightsaber. I just didn't know which one to bring. When I was a kid and I watched it, it was super cool, really amazing. As I kind of grew up, you learn to hate Jar Jar Binks. You get into all of that stuff. But looking at it as a Star Wars movie, it isn't the worst. I guess that's my kind words for it. It's not the worst one out there, but the acting, Natalie Portman as the princess, like you were saying, just very stiff, robotic. I think they were trying to make her seem, diplomatic or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
But she just came across dull.
Yeah.
Also, fact that I stumbled upon, the non-princess in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
They had the doubles.
The double.
That was Keira Knightley.
Really?
Yeah.
I always confuse those two.
I did too.
To this day, I confuse those two.
Yeah.
Like, you watch King Arthur, and I'm like, is that Keira Knightley or is that Natalie Portman?
Yeah, exactly. And they were...
Really?
They played the...
Interesting.
Twins or whatever. You kind of brushed on it quick. Jake Lloyd, awful.
Ooh,
so bad. And I saw an interview recently with that guy. He was at some kind of, like, science convention, like some sci-fi thing. And he was getting interviewed, and he was acting like a total jerk because they were asking him Star Wars questions. It's like, dude, what else have you done? So he was acting like he's, some big shot now. But anyway, I guess I really like the movie. But that's just because I'm a Star Wars fan. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I agree with you on all the negative parts and all the positive parts. So,
but for you, the positives are
better
than what I think of them.
Yeah, they outweigh the negatives, and I've been meaning to get together and do a Star Wars marathon.
And I would like to see it again. It has been, how long is that? 10, 12 years since I've seen it. So, I'd like to see it again.
It's definitely
I'm sure it's aged, but it would be fun to go through and do the gamut. A lot of people are like, oh, why do you have to show the backstory of where everybody came from and everything? Personally, I think that's cool. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of people don't like that. I think that's really neat when you see, oh, that's where I think it was done poorly. I thought it was dumb that he made C-3PO and doesn't remember that later in life for some reason.
He could have just
if
been
you built a robot,
you
think you'd remember that. But I think it's cool that they're trying to fill in those holes and kind of teach you the history of it. It just wasn't executed the way it could have been.
And kind of going into the Jar Jar Binks and being annoying, I really like looking at it now. I find Anakin Skywalker to be far more annoying than Jar Jar Binks in that movie.
In all 3 of the new movies, I did not care for the teenage version of him.
Exactly.
One other side note I wanted to get in is that I really enjoy the movie Fanboys, which is based off of the quest of these teenage kids to break into the, what's it called, Skywalker Ranch?
Skywalker Ranch, yeah.
And steal the first copy and see it before anybody else. And it's a really good movie, so it's a nice little tie-in with this review. So,
excellent.
That's that. So, yeah. Can we put a poll, Preston, like on Facebook or something?
Oh, yeah.
You talk about watching all 6 movies, and you say it should be 1 through 6.
Yep.
I think it should be 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, the order they came out. I think we need to have a poll question, which is the way to watch the saga.
All right, put it up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely 1 through 6. Like, my favorite is Empire, for sure. But, yeah.
I think it should be watched in the order they came out.
Yeah. I can see that.
All right. Quote. It's been a while since we've done a show. I kind of missed my place here. We got a winner?
Yes. Brad Kwame, B-Rad Kavam.
He's back on it after Andrew.
Yeah, he's all over it. I think
Andrew took like 6 in a row.
He got offended by our challenge.
Well, you got to. If we throw it on the gauntlet, I mean, you better respond.
Big deal.
Yeah. All right, let's check it out.
I've had this birthmark since I was born. I looked it up in the dictionary. It's not in there.
Jack Black.
The Pick of Destiny.
Yeah, Tenacious D. Good movie.
Yeah, we did our top 5 Jack Black last time, which actually inspired me. I was on the road and I grabbed Shallow Hal and took it with me and watched it. Very good. Very good.
Nice. New quote? I didn't remember it.
New quote. You came up with it. You should know it.
I know.
Justice is balance. You burned my house and left me for dead. Consider us even. like that lighthearted tone I gave it. Made it seem like it was...
You burned my house, left me for dead.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. So if you know the answer to that quote,
go and put it on Facebook.
Yeah, that works.
Wherever.
Or Twitter.
Voices,
or
Voices.
YouTube.
YouTube.
I like YouTube because that's really the only one I look at. You're the social
true.
media guy, so I never get to see the Facebook.
Facebook, Twitter,
so.
YouTube, Air Voices.
Movies coming out this week. There's actually a lot, but I only picked out. Well, there's 3 worth noting. One is obviously Episode 1 in 3D, which you just reviewed. The other one I thought, the 2 I thought, Journey to the Mysterious Island.
Got The Rock in it.
Yeah, but that's not the movies The Rock should be in. I don't even think you should be allowed to call yourself The Rock
if you're
in a movie like that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Does he still call himself The Rock though? I thought he stopped that.
I think he phased into Dwayne.
Yeah, I miss like the rundown and.
Yeah, but he's gonna be in G.I. Joe.
Walking Tall. Yeah, and he looks good. That looks good. And the other one is Safe House with Denzel and Ryan Reynolds.
Yep. Yeah.
I think it looks good. I like Denzel a lot, and I really like Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds is good.
I did not see the Green Lantern because that looked dumb, but I just saw Buried recently, which he was awesome in, and I like him, from his funny stuff back in the day, Van Wilder.
Even The Proposal. I know, chick flick. What? He's actually really good in that. He's really funny in that.
I haven't seen that one.
So, Sandra Bullock.
Just Friends is the one my wife really likes. That one's pretty good.
I've caught bits and pieces of that. It's pretty funny.
Rom-com. So.
Rom-com.
Yeah. So that's what's coming to theaters this week, and then Episode 1.
Yeah.
So
my bet's on that. I kind of want to see that in 3D.
In 3D.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I saw it in the theaters the first go around, so that's my bet.
All right. Well, it's good to be back. Thanks for joining us. It's nice to see all your pretty faces again. We will be back again next week. I think we're talking about doing an IQ test.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be domination.
So it's been a while. Yeah. I'm anxious to win that belt back again. So
I think you won it last time.
I'm anxious to hold on to my belt. So, all right. Well, I guess we'll see you this weekend for a mini episode. This weekend-ish, somewhere around there.
Fun.
And yeah, till then, see you. Is there like a Star Wars goodbye I should have said?
Dang it.
Live long and prosper.
May the force be with you.